So the biggest free agent in the NHL is going to be signing with a new team soon. Patrick Kane has been one of the most dominant forces in the NHL over the past 10 to 15 years. So today I'm going to talk about my 3 teams that I think Patrick Kane should sign with and a few other honorable mentions as we go through. So the first honorable mention is the Buffalo Sabres. I think we all know that's his hometown and he would love to sign there. But Buffalo's not winning a Stanley Cup this season. They're still growing as a young team, and I don't think that the addition of Patrick Kane is really going to do all that much for them. They've had some injuries, and I still think they're finding their way. So if Patrick Kane does want to win a Stanley Cup, that's not going to be the place to sign. The same goes for another honorable mention in the Chicago Blackhawks. I think we would all love to see Kane go back to the Windy City and play with Bedard, but this really isn't going to get him far with his Cup aspirations. And while it would be a nice fan service, I just don't see Patrick Kane going back to Chicago. Now, the first team I think he should sign with is the Detroit Red Wings. This team got off to an incredibly hot start, and DeBrincat and Larkin looked like the best duo in the NHL. Now they've fallen off a little bit in the Atlantic Division and are now more of a 500 hockey club, but with the addition of Patrick Kane, I think this could be a nice pairing to play on that top line. He has experience with DeBrincat and can really add a nice touch with some playmaking to that line alongside Larkin. I do think this would be a nice spot for him, even though I don't think the Red Wings would win a cup this year. I think if he went to that team, I could potentially see the Red Wings being a serious contender with Patrick Kane alongside those two. I think it would be the best line in hockey. In my number 2 spot for where I think he should sign is the Florida Panthers. Now the Panthers don't really need any more forwards, but the addition of Patrick Kane would be a nice touch to a team that I already consider to be a Stanley Cup contender. The Panthers look really good this year and are now competing for that top spot in the Atlantic Division, and by adding Patrick Kane, you're adding some more goal scoring and a lot more playmaking, which I think would not hurt this team at all and could really push them above other teams in the Eastern Conference. And the last team that I think he should sign with is the Panthers' biggest competitor, the Boston Bruins. Now, if you've been watching Boston hockey, you know that this team has wildly exceeded expectations. And while we all thought that the center position would be their weakest spot, they found the answer to this by bringing up a young kid from their ranks in Matthew Poitras, which has now exposed another area where I think the Bruins need to improve on, and that's the winger position. Their defense and goaltending is great, but they seriously lack a top 6 winger, which means Patrick Kane would be a perfect fit there. Now they'll have to shed off one of their defensemen, maybe like Matt Grzelcyk, in order to sign him, but if Patrick Kane signs a 2 to 3 year deal with Boston, they have $25 million opening up next season in cap space, and they could potentially be a cup contender not only this year, but be a serious favorite for years to come if he goes there. Now I want to know what you guys think. Where do you think the best landing spot would be for Patrick Kane, and do you agree with my top 3 options? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.